If you've been looking for a luxurious experience to take your intimacy to the next level, then stick around for this episode because we're going to be sharing all about the Evolved Couples Retreat going down in Destin. We'll be hosting this experience to help couples evolve to the next level in their relationship, communication, goal setting, intimacy, and so much more. Hey, we're Brit and Chris Carmichael, and you're listening to the Elevated Life Podcast. Throughout the 13 years we've been together, we've never ceased in our endless quest to better ourselves.
We've studied top experts, philosophers, and gurus. After years of personal self-experimentation, we found the tools for shifting your beliefs, moving through fears, and developing a positive mindset.
If you're ready for a breakthrough, then you're in the right place because we're here to empower you to take control of your life with simple mindset shifts that create radical transformation.
We'll be diving into topics like personal growth, health, philosophy, spirituality, relationships, success, and mindfulness.
So create some space for yourself and get comfy. It's time to become the badass you were born to be. Bow chicka wow wow, chicka wow wow, chicka wow wow. You know I can't start this Evolved Couples Retreat conversation without some kind of intimate music.
I love it. Oh my gosh, you're a wild one.
And that is what takes our intimacy to the next level.
It's true. I feel like as a couple, one of the most important things to do is to figure out how you can build in an intimate relationship. So often we just get so lost in our to-dos and so lost in our own individual ideas about what's happening in life, what our own goals are, that we forget we're doing this with someone else. What are they into? How can I step up my game for them? Am I treating them the way that they want to be treated? Because a lot of times couples won't admit that. The other partner won't exactly just come out and say it. A lot of times they don't feel like they're in a safe space, or because life's been beating them up a little bit. Maybe they've been working really hard at work. They've been working on their fitness. Something has made them extra tired. And so they can't focus on that. They don't have that mental power at the end of the day. If you've ever tried doing fantastic work at night without a lot of caffeine and hopes and dreams, it's tough. And so a lot of times as a couple, we get to the end of the night and say, all right, now we're going to focus on us. And there's no more energy. And so being able to get away and being able to spend some days with your partner and other people who care about advancing their relationship, they care about what's going to happen in their future, who are 100% committed to each other, it gives you that personal time to really reconnect and to really decide where is it that we're going to go and what are we screwing up on right now? Where do we need to work on? Are we communicating correctly? Are we saying the right stuff? Am I making you as happy as I possibly could? Are we helping each other? It's coming up with those answers to those questions and really finally connecting. No kids, no work, no laundry to do, no food to cook, no animals to bathe, nothing. Just being there together.
It's like you've got to disconnect to reconnect. And that's why I always love going on trips with you because we're outside of our normal comfort zone. There's no distractions. There's no work. And it forces us to communicate and create new ideas and plans for this new experience that we're in because it's not our normal comfort zone or our habits and routines. So I really feel like traveling has been such a huge part of like the building blocks and tools that we've used to be able to develop our communication skills and our ability to make decisions together with both of us in mind, knowing each other's preferences and dislikes.
Yeah, and I've also realized that in our day-to-day life, a lot of times we're just too busy. There's just too much going on. And it's not for a lack of effort. It's not because we don't care. It's not because of any of those reasons. Not because we wouldn't want to. It's just there's so much going on. There's so many responsibilities that we have, and demands that are coming at us from every direction, and projects that we want to do, that sometimes, I will tell you really, it has been traveling and getting away and spending that time with you that has allowed me to actually meet you and know you and understand you and be able to shift some of the things that I say or some of the ways that I say them or the things that we do and really find out what it is that I can do to nurture you and to also help you really accomplish and achieve the dreams and goals that you have. I feel like without that time, I would just be kind of lost a little bit. And I wouldn't have really, oh, that is what she's been asking me to do. Or, oh my gosh, that's what she really wants to do in the next 5 years. Now I really understand it because we had the time.
And that's exactly what the Evolved Couples Retreat is all about. It's a 5-day sacred container for you and your partner to come together and reconnect on your intimacy, your communication, and to rehash out what your goals personally and together are, because sometimes life gets in the way. Well, hell, life is always getting in the way of life. Isn't that funny?
It's weird.
It's so weird how that happens. So you have to be intentional about taking that time away so that you can grow together. It's an investment in your relationship. And this retreat is not for couples in crisis.
This isn't like couples therapy. This isn't like, but one of the things that we do focus on a ton, which matters a lot, and what I've seen a lot, because this is where couples fall apart a lot of times, is they bring in the last relationship to the current relationship. So if someone cheated on somebody, there may be a jealousy issue. There may be a trust issue. There may be a loyalty issue. If someone watched their parents do the exact same thing, or the way the dad or the mom treated the other person, maybe they yelled at them, maybe they were physical with them, and you finally get to realize, I'm going to break this cycle because I'm not going to teach that to my kids. I don't want to live that way in my life. And when you get around people who are awesome, when you get around other couples who want to go further, when you get around these kind of like ultimate people who are like, we just want to cherish each other and make this life as great as we can together, you start to find what habits you're doing that not quite working for you, not quite serving you the way that it should be. And you start to realize what other people are doing that's really working for them. And I feel like that's one of like the juiciest things. I love the private chef. I love having great food like that. It actually is one of my favorite parts. But being able to be around the other people and being able to learn from them, it's almost like if you can get around the leader of your industry. If you can ask them questions, you can say, hey, can you tell me about that tool that you're using? Or hey, can you tell me that strategy that you're using to do this? Oh my God, your sex life is like that? Wow, I want to add that into my life. That sounds amazing. You can see how other people are fulfilled, and you can also see what's not working for them, so that when you go back home, you're not doing those things anymore. And you're finding out what really sort of gets you synergistic together so that you can move as one and not feel like you're constantly going against each other's ideas and opinions.
I know I'm most excited about learning from all the other couples too. I know we have a full curriculum to teach, but I know that we're going to walk away with even more resources than we bring to the table. So I'm so excited for that. And that's all of what day one, the theme of day one is breaking free of the past, breaking free of the old ways of thinking or believing or feeling judged or labeled or anything that is stopping you from fully expressing yourself in a way that feels good. And I think that's really step one is day one, the theme of breaking free of that past.
Well, a lot about that was really important for me specifically because my parents divorced early on. And both of my parents have been married multiple. I think my dad's been married 5 or 6 times at this point. And so I hadn't really seen a lot of relationships that worked. And so I personally never wanted to get married because in my head, I thought, this looks like a bummer. I mean, they definitely are not happy with each other. I don't know why they even came together. And so I projected that into my relationships. And so I lived that way. And so it's not that I didn't feel like I didn't deserve love. It was just that I didn't feel like their relationships, the way I saw them defined, worked. And it wasn't until I actually met Brit's grandparents where I saw a relationship and I was like, oh my gosh, they are amazing with each other. They have this banter back and forth. They kind of poke fun at each other, but not in a mean way. You know, they both were cussing, but when it came down to it, it was so much about family and so much about gathering together and sharing these extremely special moments with each other. And I was like, oh my gosh, this can work. Like, what are we in the Notebook? Like, what is this? And I started to think, wow, if I could feel that same kind of way, I want to. Because love is an amazing thing. It can get you down from, it can build you up from some of the worst places, and it can take you to places that you just can't go by yourself. When you're loved and supported, different things happen in your life. It's less painful on the bad days. It's way less. And on the great days, it's so phenomenal. You don't even know what you're like in this constant ecstatic bliss state. And when I saw that, I immediately looked over at Brit and I thought, maybe this could be a thing. And I want that. And I want to share that with others. And I want to show them some of the things that they're doing in their relationships so that they can begin to take it to the next level. Different thought forms, different strategies, different ways of talking with each other so that they can be into that space where this can work. No matter what I've seen in my past, no matter what other relationships have failed for me, this is something that I'm going to be doing. This is something that's 100% worth it.
So day one is all about breaking free of the past so that you can be in the present. And in the present, you can communicate clearly. You can create intimacy. And that's what the theme of day two is: intimacy and communication.
You know, what we found is that these are the two main categories and the reasons why most relationships fail. It's because they cannot communicate their fears, their emotions. They don't know what to do when they're angry.
Their needs.
Their desires, what they fantasize about, where their boundaries are at,
what they don't like.
And so what ends up happening is, instead of finding this deeper level of love that is available to all of us, they fight and they bicker, and then nothing ends up happening. They end up developing this deep resentment toward each other. And here we are in a relationship. This is the thing that's going to build us up. This is the thing that so many people are looking for. None of us want to be alone. We all want to be accepted and loved and approved of. But here we are with a partner who's supposed to just be there and hold us and support us. And we can't communicate to them that that's what we need. And so they don't give it to us, and we think the whole thing's a scam.
We resent them, and then we withhold sex.
And then we withhold sex. And then what ends up happening is no longer they are our partner. They're only our friend. And they're barely. And we get home and we don't like them. And we're like, oh my God, I got to see this person again. Where really what you can do is a few simple techniques that we're going to teach you. And it's going to show you exactly how to communicate to your partner effectively, so that they know what it is, what your expectations are, what you're looking for, and not in a weird way, not in a way that makes them feel like they've never been doing this, or that they're stupid, or they don't know what's going on. It's a way that nurtures and supports both of you together at the same time, so that you don't have to feel weird about having those talks with your partner. So when your needs aren't getting met, it's not an "I'm going to attack you now." It's just a conversation. It's just you coming out and saying things in very plain English in a way that they can understand, so that they can deliver to you. Because I'll tell you this, what's interesting is that your partner wants to do a great job. They just don't always know how to, because you guys aren't always on the same level.
And that's what the communication really will lead to, is getting on the same level. And I really feel like beyond, the sex life and the intimacy, moving into day 3, it's all about creating your future together. And that's where if you can create the connection and communicate in a way that is coming from a place of love and clarity and not resentment, and you have that intimate connection, then it's going to be so much easier for you to share your big dreams, your ideas, and to have that support and built-in cheerleader in the relationship to help you move forward in the direction of the dreams.
Yeah, especially now you're not stuck in the past anymore. And now you're not just focused on the present, because it kind of a little bit takes care of itself. When you know how to talk to each other, the present a lot of times takes care of itself.
Yeah, if you're communicating, you're definitely getting it in.
Yeah, and so now we get to look forward to something. And when you build hope in relationships, and when you know that where you're going is happening together, you know that other person is 100% on your team, and they're not going anywhere. You don't have to feel the abandonment issues begin to dissolve away. Now the two of you can really succeed. Now the two of you can say, let's do it together, and know what that means. And one person's not getting left behind. Because that's one of the worst feelings in the whole world, is for you to be the only person that shows up 100%. Relationships are a 50-50 game. It's both of you giving to each other.
Grandmother says they're 100%, 100%.
See, she's right.
She knows.
100%, 100%. And it's dealing with what we have as individuals, dealing with some of our own fallbacks, our own failures, and then realizing that we don't have to carry that into the relationship. Because what you do in your relationship, you 100% teach to your children. 100%. They are watching you with sharp eyes and saying, oh, well, that's what love means. And so when you show up and you show them exactly what it is that great love is, they can go forward and do that in their life. And they just have to do it by example. They say, oh, my parents were like this. Let me show you. They talk to each other this way. We don't have to do it like this. This way doesn't work that well. Let's try it together like this.
And that's what I'm excited about for day 3, is really taking your goals and dreams as an individual and setting those in stone and saying, this is what I want, but also what do we want together, and being able to move forward together.
Yeah, it's having that future vision. See, here's what we noticed. This is a big key. Here's what we notice, is that when people are getting out of relationships, when the relationship is faltered, when it's at the end of it, it's because one person no longer pictures their future. When they make future visions, they don't see their partner in that. And so when you both are doing it together and you both are seeing the other person, and you both are seeing the other person successful and their best selves, that oftentimes comes to fruition. And it's so powerful to do as a group, especially with the exercise that we're going to take you through. It is just some of the people who've gone to the goddess retreats that are female partners, what ends up happening in their relationship is they can go so much further now because they are starting to live on that single-minded vision. It's the two of them together. Nobody's working against the other person. No one is ego battling anymore. They're not just spending all their time in these arguments. And so they say, okay, these are our dreams, not just mine, our dreams.
And I think that's what ultimately led us to create this Evolved Couples Retreat, is that all the women that were coming to the Goddess Retreat, and good on Meg and Anna for keep showing up together as a couple, because they ended up getting a couples retreat and an individual retreat. But that's what led us to create this experience, because all the women would go home to their partners and their partner would see the clear difference and the evolved version of their partner and go, wow, I want that. I want more of that. Wait, don't leave me. I always say to Chris, don't leave me behind. He's like listening to meditations or audios or reading a book. I'm like, don't leave me behind. I want to up level with you. And so that was it. All the goddesses kept saying, hey, my husband wants to be a part of this. Hey, my husband wants to come. Hey, can you do it? Can you do what, like the 5 people that pulled you over and said, hey, can you just do this for me and my partner? And so we want to help couples evolve together.
Yeah, that's one of the most beautiful things that can end up happening, is seeing 2 people who were almost there, or who have made it there, but say, you know what, now we want to take the training wheels off and now we want to see how far can we go. Otherwise, you do end up in that constant, you come home and you're just like, ugh, I don't want to be home, or ugh, I don't want to fight anymore. And you stay there and your lovemaking not there. And so your energy levels aren't there. And you're just not spending time with the person who will give you the most joy in your life. And seeing people fall in love again and seeing them renew that love, or seeing couples who have renewed that love and now they want to go a little bit further than that, or really much further than that. It's such a beautiful sight, because guess what the world needs right now? Love. That's what it is. That's going to solve so many of the problems that we have.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. You know, it got me smiling while you were saying that, because I'm visualizing the recommitment ceremony that we're going to do on the beach. I actually have my photographer flying in for this experience to photograph couples so that they have these beautiful romantic photos together, because that's something Chris and I love to do, is take photos together. It really captures where we're at in our journey and who we are at that time. And so I want to capture this recommitment ceremony so that couples have this memory to look back on if they ever do fall in a rut, or life gets in the way of life. They can look back at even just these photos and remember this magical transformative time where they made a conscious choice to put the effort into the relationship.
It has been being in a fantastic relationship has been the most rewarding experience of my entire life. It has trumped every kind of achievement or success I've ever dreamed of having. And being able to walk with your partner and being in sync with a person and feeling understood and knowing that there's someone out there that you are no longer alone, that they get you, that they are tapped in, is the most wonderful feeling.
So let me give you the details. If this sounds like something that you'd like to experience in your relationship, you're looking to get away to a luxurious experience in Destin, Florida, on the beach. You know, when I was thinking about what's the ultimate couples relationship, like the vibe, I pictured us like walking hand in hand on the beach and the water and all the things. And so that's why we chose Destin, Florida, to set the tone for the most romantic getaway experience in a luxury 3-story villa right on the beach, so that you can look right out into the water. We can walk right down into the sand. And I just feel like being that close to water is going to create the environment that we need to create that flow and that harmony between not only ourselves, our partners, but also the dynamic of the group. So setting the tone of a luxurious experience really is not the forefront, because the curriculum, I think, is the backbone of what this couples retreat is all about, is the tools that we're going to give you to help transform your life. But the environment definitely matters, and we like to make it the most magical and exquisite. From the private chef to the luxury accommodations to a beautiful spot right on the beach, we have got this vacation for you and your partner all mapped out so you don't have to worry about a thing. We've got it all covered. And that's going down on 2/22/2022. We picked the most magical day of partnerships to come together, to combine our energies, and to create this magic with you and other like-minded couples.
Yeah, and we hope that you join us there and that you begin to look at your relationship and your life in a totally new way and realizes there's so much more in store for you, that the future is very exciting, and this is going to be the beginning of that amazing journey.
So let's get this party started. We've got a few spots left. If you've been thinking about taking some time out to reconnect with your partner, this is the experience for you. Check out all the details at theelevatedlifeclub.com/retreat. We only have a few spots left going down for our first couples retreat in 2022, and we're so excited to be able to hold this sacred space for couples to evolve.
We'll see you there.
Hope to see you there, and until next time, we'll catch you later.
Peace.
Thanks so much for tuning in to the Elevated Life Podcast. Want more? Join us at theelevatedlifeclub.com for mindset upgrades, lifestyle hacks, and spiritual tools to elevate your soul.
Each month features a new masterclass, meditation, yoga practice, and more to help you transform your life one step at a time.
Come join the 7 or Above Club.